It's Saturday, July 15th, 2023. Just a few things I want to talk about today, something I want to share with all of you. Last week I did a video. We were talking about contaminated drinking water. 45% of the tap water in America is contaminated. It's not healthy. It's bad for you. And I reached out to all of you and asked for recommendations. Now I have a couple Berkeys presently and asked for another recommendation on a water filtration system, and there were a lot of really good recommendations, a lot of good ideas, but one really stood out, and that was this one right here. This is what most people recommended in the comments. Right here, the zero water filtration system right here. I hope that's focusing. I think it is. So I ordered this and it came in yesterday, and I'm going to show you the product here in a minute, but I want to thank everybody for the recommendations. I know that there'll be people that write me that just say that, you know, there's better ones out there, or I shouldn't have gotten this one, but most people recommended zero water. I watched some other videos on YouTube. It came highly recommended. This one I got on Amazon. It was like $67, plus you could get 3 additional filters. Comes with a filter, but you could get 3 additional filters. It was like $122. So you have 4 filters total, the system, and a water tester. This reduces PFOA, PFOS, lead, chlorine. Now all these are substances you do not want in your water. They're extremely unhealthy, and especially over time, drinking contaminated water is going to be really, really bad for you. It affects a lot of different things here. It will reduce your immune system. This is what bad water will do. Contaminated water will reduce your immune system, elevate cholesterol, changes in liver function, changes hormone levels. And now this system reduces 91% of fluoride in your tap water. And we know fluoride is extremely bad for you. It's literally poison. This is a 5-stage system, ion exchange water filtration system, and it got great reviews. And it feels like this is glass. It sits in glass. You've got 40 cups or 2.5 gallons. And it looks like a really nice system. So I'm going to run it probably this evening, fill it up, and see how it goes. But I just thought that it was really something that I wanted to share with all of you, because water is so important, whether it's for your pets, your kids, yourself, for cooking, for drinking, whatever. Water is so important. And I think that this is just another great prep we can all add. And it doesn't have to be this one, but I think you really need to be aware of your water and to know that more than likely your water has substances in it that is not good for you or your family. And so this week we added a little bit more to the preparations, and that's the zero water system. And I'm going to try it out and I'll give you my honest opinion of it. But most people already making videos on this, and the people that wrote in the comments down below love this system. As I've said, I have 2 Berkeys right now. This is the 3rd system, and I may get another one of these if it works out. So I'm going to show this to you right now, so you get an idea of the size and what it looks like. So this is the system right here. Come in here, pour the water down in there. All glass. And it stands maybe 24, not even, maybe 24 inches high, if that, maybe about 22 inches high. But it seems like a well-built filtration system. Looks very nice, and I'm looking forward to using it. So that's my latest addition to my preps. People will always ask, what do you give us some advice. What should I do? Well, make sure you have good, clean drinking water. That's going to be great for your health. A great addition to your preparations. And if you had to filter out some dirty water, maybe from a pond or rainwater or whatever, what have you, this is probably going to work out pretty well. Again, this is just putting the odds in your favor. Another thing, I think right now with this pullback we've seen in precious metals. Although silver and gold have been coming back, think about gold right now. It's literally $100 from its all-time high right now, and it's been pushed down, and now we're beginning to see it come back. Silver back over 25, but since it's been pushed back a little bit, I think, and I don't give financial advice, but we're talking about preparations and what I'm doing, what people around me are doing. I think buying some precious metals right now is a great idea. So water. Get a filtration system. You can, there's a whole bunch to choose from. Do your own due diligence. This is what a lot of people said was one of the best ones, zero water. So looks like it's probably going to work out. A lot of good reviews. Get yourself some gold. Get yourself some silver. People ask me all the time, they don't know where to buy physical gold or silver. Go to my link down below, SD Bullion. You can buy gold. You can buy silver from them. I've been dealing with them for 4.5 years. Great company. I've been nothing but satisfied and happy with SD Bullion. So if you need gold or silver, go to my link down below. If you need a water filtration system, go online, shop it. This one came from Amazon. You don't want to shop from Amazon. There's other places that sell these, but you got to be you got to continue adding to preps, and many people have no preps whatsoever. They just believe that if they have a couple dollars laying around, they're going to be okay. But you got to think, if the systems go down, grid goes down, cyber attack, that means water gets shut off. That means your ATM card doesn't work, your credit card doesn't work. You're on your own. So, make sure you have borrowable items, make sure you have cash put away, make sure you have some assets like gold and silver put away, make sure you can filter water in a worst case scenario, that you have something like this, that you can filter water, make sure you have food put away. There's so much we all need to be doing right now, and I think people are now coming to the realization that anything is possible, and if it can happen, it probably will happen. I was watching Fox Business yesterday. Small bank credit card delinquencies at all-time high. People are now beginning to hit the wall. We're looking at anywhere from 15, some people saying 20,000 cars a day being repossessed in America. The economy has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. And my big fear is that by the time people realize that we're in a recession, we've been in a recession, by the time they even realize that, more than likely we will be in a depression, but they'll be broke and they're not going to have a chance, because if you're broke and you don't have skills and you don't have, items like gold or silver, water filtration, if you don't have borrowable items, if you don't have a cash reserve put away, if you don't have your debts paid down, you're going to be in big trouble. And I hope that this is getting to people. I hope that people are waking up and taking action, because we are getting very, very close to, I think, not just an event, but multiple events taking place. You need to be preparing mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. I cannot emphasize this enough. Here's one today from The Hedge. Largest U.S. retailer of pool supplies warns of sliding demand. Remember when everybody had money, all that free money was circulating, guess what? People were buying pools. They were putting in jacuzzis and spas. And if you called a pool guy, you probably were told that you're going to have to wait about 2 years before they can come out and build you a pool. A couple personal friends of mine said the same thing. 2-year wait to get a pool built. Call one today and they will say, we'll be out today to come talk to you and give you an estimate. At one point, pool companies were turning down so much work, and now here we are a year later, 2 years later, and all of that work has evaporated. I don't know about you, but this reminds me back in 2005 and 6 when you couldn't get a pool built, and then 2008 happened and they couldn't get to your house fast enough, and of course they would do it at a discount at that point. The largest pool retailer, Leslie's, has slashed its annual forecast after reporting a slowdown in consumer traffic. Their fiscal third quarter results were well below expectations, as low double-digit traffic declines in our residential and our pre-businesses drove negative comps across both discretionary and non-discretionary categories, it says. The slowdown in pool sales sent Leslie's shares on Friday down 30%. It says that they're now seeing, in the article, it says that they're now seeing hot tub companies offering as much as 40% discounts to come out and put a hot tub in your backyard, up to 40% discounts. Pretty soon it's going to be 50, then it's going to be 60, and then we're going to see pool companies and hot tub companies going out of business. And then this trickles down, all the way down to the people that maintain the pools and clean the pools, install the pools. Everything's connected, right? And again, this reminds me so much of what we saw, the big melt up of 2005 and 6 and even 7. And then 2008 and 9 hit, and pool companies went under. People said, hey, I'll maintain my own pool, I'll clean my own pool, and they cut out the pool cleaners. And it's going to be just a domino effect. So much of this is all connected, and it just takes out so many people's jobs. And we have out here, I mean, it's so hot, and we have so many pools here, and you see so many of these pool companies and pool cleaners, and you have to think how many of them are not going to have a job here when this whole house of cards comes tumbling down. Here's another one today from The Hedge. Shifting consumer behavior. Conagra CEO warns Americans now cut back on food purchases. Sean Conley, Chief Executive Officer of Conagra Brands, Inc., said consumers are dialing back on their food purchases. Consumers are trading down, ladies and gentlemen. They're trading down from Walmart to the dollar stores, from the dollar stores to dumpster diving. People are now running to pawn shops, selling the stuff that they bought back during the health crisis when they were getting stimmies and free money and unemployment benefits and buying stuff they didn't need and buying all this dumb stuff. And now they're taking the dumb stuff and they're running to their local pawn shops and trying to get whatever amount of cash that they can now to pay the utility bills, to pay their rent. Remember, we just had, and I don't know what the recent number is, but just a couple months ago it was reported that 20 million households in America could not even pay their utility bills. Where are we? Where are we? People are using buy now, pay later plans to pay their grocery bills, ladies and gentlemen. They're cutting back on school supplies, sending the kids back to school. It's forecasted that back to school supply sales will be down 10% this year compared to last year. Something is not adding up. We're being told daily that the consumer is still strong, that the consumer still has money from all the stimmies and all the benefits, that they still have money. I think the money has run out. I think that a majority of these people have run out of money, and a majority of these people are now running off of credit cards. They're surviving off of credit cards. And people will tell me that, hey, I went to a restaurant last night, it was busy. I went to a resort yesterday, it was busy. Well, that's wonderful. Guess what? Resorts take credit cards. Restaurants take credit cards. And a lot of people right now cannot admit that the game is over. A lot of people just cannot adjust their lifestyle. They cannot downsize, and they will not do it. They're too reluctant. And so they would much rather go deeper into debt using credit cards to continue the standard of living that they've been so used to. But it's on borrowed time, ladies and gentlemen. This whole thing is hanging on by a thread. Here's another very interesting article I was reading this morning. It's titled, "We spend billions on defense, but are running out of ammo. Where is the money going?" California Congressman Ro Khanna. Not a big fan of his, but he makes a very, very good point here, and he asks a very good question. We spend billions of dollars on defense. Where is the money? We're running out of ammo. How come we're running out of ammo when we spend billions of dollars? We're being gouged by defense contractors. Again, where is the money going, ladies and gentlemen? How in the world could this superpower, the United States of America, the wealthiest, biggest debtor nation on planet Earth, how could we be out of ammo when we spend billions of dollars on defense? Ro Khanna asks a very, very good question here. I don't have the answer. Tell me. Here's another one today, New York Post. Scammer snatch unsuspecting shopper's credit card at Walmart's. So this is another trend. Here we go again. It's just more of the social decay that we're seeing in America. Now people are pickpocketing customers at Walmart as they do self-checkout. And I don't know about you, but I was at a grocery store last night in Albertsons. And I'm seeing more and more of this self-checkout everywhere, from Lowe's to the Albertsons to the Walmarts. And it really is disturbing. And what really bothers me is prices continue to go up. You're paying more now for groceries than you ever have in your life. And they charge you 10 cents for a bag. After you run up a $200 grocery bill, then they want to charge you for bags because, you know, plastic's bad, yet everything, including this package today, everything is shipped in plastic. Everything you buy from Amazon, everything that you buy from a store and open up, the packaging's plastic. Everything is wrapped in plastic. Everything is covered in plastic. Everything, plastic, plastic, plastic. But when I go to a grocery store, I need to be punished and I need to pay 10 cents per bag for my groceries because plastic's so bad. Yet everywhere you go, everything is covered and wrapped and insulated in plastic. But getting back to this story here in the New York Post, again, it is amazing that we now also pay more at these stores for goods, for food, and then the bags. And then on top of that, we have to check ourselves out. And we have to load up the bags ourselves. So we're doing the labor now for these stores while they charge us for plastic bags, and we pay these huge prices for food and goods. It's just absolutely shocking where we're at right now while we're putting people out of work. So instead of having a human there who actually bags it and puts your goods in the bag, and I remember back in the day, you go to a grocery store, there was always some kid there that would be loading up your groceries in a bag. That is gone. That is so gone. But you remember the days, right? You go, cashier checks you out, and they have a bagger there, and the kid's loading up your bags, putting it in the cart for you, asking you, do you need me to take it out to your car? Those days are long gone. But now, on top of all this nonsense that's taking place, you run the risk of being pickpocketed of your credit cards now as you check yourself out, as you take on an additional job, another side hustle that you don't get paid for. Now you're a checker and a bagger all in one at these stores. It's unbelievable. So we're going to continue to pay a price here, ladies and gentlemen, monetarily and socially as this economy continues to break down. And these big stores are going to have you do more and more so they can make more and more money. And they're going to cut off and lay off more of their employers while you do the work for them. Another article today, this from the Hollywood Reporter. The Madison tax effect, luxury home sales stall in Los Angeles. So if you sell a home in Los Angeles County for over $5 million, it's a 4% tax, I believe, 4.25%. You sell anything over $10 million, it's a 5 or 5.25% tax. And, you know, some of these houses are 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 million. So this adds up to big money. And, you know, people will say, well, who cares? I don't have a multi-million-dollar house. Well, I think we all should care because, at least here in California, if they're doing this now in LA County to mansions and having this mansion tax, what stops them from doing it to you in your $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 house and adding a tax to you? So if you sell, you know, your $500,000 house and say California says, well, we're going to tax you 3% because we got to help the homeless people. So you're going to have to pay $15,000 at closing when you sell your house. That's where it's going to go. It's not going to stop with mansions. It's going to come down to the average day person here in California eventually. I'm sure it's going to go that way. But if they can do it to people in LA County in multi-million-dollar homes, They can do it to the average person in a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home, and they can do it to you in another state. I mean, we're going to see, I think New York has a very similar tax right now too, but this is all going to continue to trickle down to the average everyday person. So we can sit there and go, oh, well, those rich people, they can afford it. I just think taxes in general are just a form of slavery. And I don't care if you're rich, middle class, or poor. I think the less taxation we have, the better off all of us would be right now. And I truly believe that one way you could really fire up this economy right now is start cutting taxes for businesses, household taxes, individual taxes. Start giving people a break. They need a break. Personally, I think you need to open up the pipelines and get oil flowing and energy flowing so we're not dependent on other countries, and get rid of these taxes. We got to cut a lot of regulation. We got to get things going here. We have a very stagnant economy. We're not producing anything. We're not even producing our own energy for the most part now. It's extremely dangerous. And it's just going to continue to hinder this country and the average person in this country. We're losing jobs over this. We're paying so much, and we become so dependent on other countries. I think that we have to get manufacturing started back up in America immediately. Pharmaceuticals need to be made here. Chips need to be made here. Semiconductors need to be made here. These are all things that we need to be doing immediately. Otherwise, we're going to continue to be dependent on the rest of the world. 40% of our tax subs are in need of repair and are out of service right now. 40%. Over 40%. People are struggling. People's wages are not, real wages are not keeping up with inflation. And just the quality of food that we're getting, there's something going on with the food, ladies and gentlemen. Please comment down below. Am I out of my mind here? But it just seems like so many places I've eaten at that the quality of food has gone downhill. It's just not the same. Even, fruits, vegetables, does not taste the same as it did a few years ago. The quality of service, when you go to a restaurant, also way down. It really does seem like people don't want to work. It really does. People want to go back to a couple years ago when they were getting free money. People want their tuition paid for. People don't want to work. And so as long as we continue down this path, this country is going to be in big trouble. And this country is not going to be able to compete with other countries, especially China. It's going to have a hard time dealing with some of these emerging markets and countries that are going to be rising, like India. We're going to have a very, very difficult time being competitive because people in America are becoming less and less competitive. They just want free stuff. And if you continue to give people free stuff and just print money, we're going to continue to have inflation. We're not going to be innovative. We're not going to be manufacturing. We're not going to be producing. And that means somebody else is. And when you're a country of deadbeats, not producing, not manufacturing, not innovating, just sitting on the couch waiting for some free money, you become a country that can't feed itself, a country that nobody's going to want to do business with, a country that is going to be really considered a leper in the world. And a lot of countries resent America right now, and we are doing so much to destroy ourselves. And that's so sad because it didn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. Is it going to change? I don't know. It does not look good. And this is why I make these videos, because if it doesn't change very, very soon, you better have security, you better have water filtration, you better have food, you better have skill sets, and you better have a mental mindset. You better be especially walking close to God, because I don't know about you, something is very broken here, something's going on, and there's just something very ominous in the air, ladies and gentlemen. And my biggest fear is we're going to wake up one day and this country is going to be turned upside down. Now, what does that? I don't know. But I do fear that this is not going to be the country that we all grew up in. It is going to be a country that is much weaker militarily, spiritually, morally, and financially. You need to be preparing every which way you can. God bless every one of you. Thanks for your time. Take a little bit of time over the weekend. Add to your preparations. Walk close to God. Pray for this country. God bless every one of you. Please share this video. Please subscribe. And please give this video a thumbs up. Talk with all of you very, very soon.